Hi, my name is Jim Poole, and I am the CEO of NuCalm. But I wasn't always the CEO of NuCalm. That started 17 years ago. And it's a strange story of how this came to be. And I think a lot of times in life, when we reflect 2020 hindsight, we're like, wow, how did that happen? So it's March 2009. I'm in Chicago, Illinois with my consulting team, and we're helping a company grow. And I get a call from a Texas number. And for some reason, I answered it. I never really answer phone numbers that I don't recognize. I'd let it go to voicemail. But I answered it. And a gentleman with a very soft southern drawl said, "Is this Mr. Poole?" And I said, "Yes, it is." He said, "My name is Dr. Blake Holloway, and I'm a neuroscientist. And I was told that you can help me." So that's my initial introduction. So I'm on the way to a business meeting. I take the call. Okay, sounds like a nice guy. I said, "All right, that sounds good. Let's set up a time." So I speak to him with our consultants the following week. This is mid March 2009. And I'm introduced to a gentleman who's just absolutely fascinating. His vernacular is next level. Half the stuff he's talking about, I don't understand. But we get to talking. And what I can deduce from Dr. Holloway on the phone is a man with tremendous compassion and desire to serve. And that's rare, but also an intellectual curiosity and an intellectual genius that I've never met. So that combination certainly compelled me to want to learn more. At some point in our second conversation, Dr. Holloway says, "Mr. Poole, I have invented a technology that quickly, safely, and predictably relaxes the mind and body within minutes without drugs." I've never heard that before. I've never heard it since. I asked him to repeat it. And I thought to myself, what is he talking about? How would you do that? And then he explained it, which didn't really help because it was very complex applied neuropsychobiology. I was busy and we kind of just stopped talking. A couple months go by. I get a call from a Texas number and I answer it again. And guess who it is? Dr. Holloway. Now he's asking for our help and he means it. Now I like talking to him. I'm learning things. It's certainly activating areas of my brain that I wasn't using at the time. And I don't know, just felt like, hey, let's see where this goes. We do 10 consecutive weekly calls for about an hour long with our consulting firm. And at the 10th time, before that call, I remember telling the team, you know what? I love this guy. I love the ideas. Part of it feels like I'm talking to Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Part of it feels like we could change the world with any of the technologies this gentleman's inventing. And the other part was pragmatic. I don't see how we can help him. He's an inventor. He's brilliant, but a little off kilter. And I don't think we can help. So I remember telling the team before our 10th call and said, you know what? This is the call. We say thanks, but no thanks. And we move on. And so that was my intention. And we got on the call and his southern drawl disarmed me. And he started talking more about what the future could be. And I don't know, there's no explanation for it, but I felt a draw to meet this person in person before I said thanks, but no thanks. So we did the call, and I didn't say, "Sorry, Dr. Holloway, we can't help you." I said, "Let me arrange a trip to come see you." So when I hung up, the team was like, "What just happened?" That was not how it was supposed to go. And I said, "I don't know what just happened, but I'm going to go to San Antonio, Texas, and I'm going to figure this out." So I fly down to San Antonio, Texas. I go into a doctor's office and I try at this point what was going to become the NuCalm technology. I had just flown in from international travel and I was exhausted. And I remember laying down and I was in a hospital bed. And I remember I had a really powerful urge and an itch on my nose. And I remember to this day, an itch on my nose. And my brain's like, hey, you have an itch on your nose. And then my brain says, who cares? Then my mind wandered and it went back to the itch. Maybe a minute later, you have an itch on your nose, itch your nose. And then I was like, how do I know where my arms are? Who cares? And this was pervasive for the entire 30 minutes. 30 minutes go by and they tap me on the shoulder. It felt like 5 minutes. I get up and I feel amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. No jet lag. I feel really, really physically loose. I feel calm in my stomach. My feet feel grounded. I feel amazing. So I'm intrigued. The next day, we spend 10 hours in a boardroom with Dr. Holloway, whiteboarding the science. Fortunately for humanity, it had logical sense, because if it didn't, I would have run. But it was logical. I may not have understood all the elements involved, but I could put together the pieces. In that meeting, Dr. Holloway came over to me and said, Mr. Poole, can I do something to you for a second? And I said, sure. And he did a few movements with my eyes. And he looked at me and said, you have TBI. And immediately my denial mechanism, I remember taking a step back and I looked at him and said, who the F are you? And he said, no, seriously, you're not going to be able to tie your shoes when you turn 50 years old. And I stopped. I was definitely taken aback. And I thought to myself, well, I wrestled, did martial arts, played football for most of my life at that point. I had a lot of concussions, and there's a lot of reasons to believe that I would have had traumatic brain injury. So I said, okay. The next day, Dr. Holloway is taking me to the airport, and he gets out of the car to shake my hand, which was not comfortable for him. As someone with Asperger's, that human connection wasn't easy. And on the curbside, he looked at me and says, Jim, I have a gentleman's agreement for you. And I said, what's that? He said, I'm going to keep you healthy if you make me wealthy. And I looked at him and said, okay. I shook his hand, and that was the beginning of the NuCalm company.